Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulihil Kareem wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajmain. Amma ba'd. If everyone can hear me, just say yes. Inshallah, you can hear me. Can everyone hear me? Okay. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. Barakallahu feekum. Welcome everyone. Today we technically have a second class. Last time we had a class on economic future of your children, and today, alhamdulillah, we have a class which is, the topic is Islamic homeschooling. What is wrong with the current schooling system? So before that, I just want to start off, inshallah, with a little question to you all. Okay, I have a question for you all. Why is it that we send our children to school? It's a very important question. Okay. Now, I just want, see, my biggest thing is, first of all, I have to I'm just not here to just talk. Okay, I'm just making my whole idea of this conversation or this message is to make people realize certain things. Okay, just certain things which I really want people to realize. Okay, and some important questions will be asked. That is very important. Some important questions will be asked, inshallah, about the whole thing, the way we think about education, about schooling, about everything. We are just going to ask some very, very important questions. Okay, today we are only going to talk about what is the problem right now. Okay, today we will not be talking about the solution. Today it will be only about just the way we look at schools, the way we look at our children's education. Is there something right with it? Is there something wrong with it? That's what we're going to look at. Okay. So the question was, why do we send our children to school? So someone said to gain knowledge, to discover their talents, to become more confident in life. Anyone else has anything else to add? Why do we send children to school? Why is it that anyone sends children to school? It's an important. Do you all agree? Sending your child to school is very important. Okay, to familiarize them with the outside world and gain proper knowledge, and give them an atmosphere to develop their talents. Okay, very good, very good. People send because the norm, that's the norm in the society. Okay, all right. Yes, okay. Never questioned it. That's actually what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. I am going to ask questions which we have to ask ourselves. Okay, so I have a very small poll before we start, a small poll where I have listed the reasons according to my research or my thinking, and I want you all to just answer the question. Okay. Okay. Because I've blocked from other sides. Okay, I can't have the poll. Sorry. Because I'm using the same ID on different this, so I cannot use the poll. Anyways, okay. So basically, the things that I listed as the reasons for us to send our children to education was get quality education. Okay. Okay. To get quality education. How many of you agree that that's the reason that we send our children to school, that we are sending them to school to get quality education? Okay, that's the first thing. Okay, second is prepare child for the future. Preparing your child for the future. Do you all agree that we send our children to school to prepare your child for the future? Very good. Very good. Socializing. Third reason which I have listed out is socializing. Okay, that children will meet with other children. They will learn how to socialize with other children. If they are at home, they won't be able to do that. They won't be able to meet with other children. They won't know how to make friends. All those things. It's a very big concern, right? That's one of the reasons with parents want their children to go to school. Okay, that's the third reason. Fourth reason is time outside the house. Like someone said that they will go outside the house, they will develop some things, and some time without children at home. That's one of the reasons parents send the children to school. Okay, there is actually a research. Okay, there's actually a research which was done, that parents are sending their children as young as 2 years old to the preschools just because the mother needs some time off from the child. Okay, and this is not a one-off thing. It's a lot of children who are going to school at the age of 2 because the child mother cannot handle the child at home. Okay, that's one of the reasons a lot of people send their children to school. And that's why when it is vacation, it is all, let's say, what they say, the parents get really the mother especially does not know what to do. Now they are at home all the time. How many of you have heard this from, yeah, how many of you have heard this from mothers that see, when it is vacation, children are like at home and mothers get irritated. They become, it's a big problem, and they want the children to go to school somehow. Okay, that is true. That is true. Okay, because I know this. I'm teaching. I know I've been talking. So the time out of the house, that is thing. Okay, self-dependency, that the children will be depend on their own selves. Like they'll learn to handle themselves without their parents being around. The child will learn to handle themselves, right? They will become independent. Okay, that's one of the things that we think that we should send children to school. Okay, all right. Then we have well-rounded characteristics, a well-rounded development. Like not only the child will learn how to like only education. There is something called as, what is it called, co-curricular activities. Okay, so we have co-curricular activities, which is which develops children with other things as well, right? Okay. uh and then last thing is, like someone said, if not school, then what? If we do not send our children to school, then what can we do, right? Okay, so you all agree? Sorry, I think I didn't have the mic. Okay, sorry. Now hope the voice would be better. Is the voice better now? Okay, no voice. All right. Okay, now it's better. All right. Okay, so unfortunately I could not I logged in from the different ID, so I cannot conduct a poll. Okay, now, of all these reasons, do you all think that these are valid reasons for us to send our children to school? Who disagrees with any of these reasons, or who thinks that this is not the reason to send the children to school? Do you all think that this is important, for these are the valid reasons for children to school, sending children to school? Okay, does anyone disagree that no, these things don't happen in school or something like that? All right. Okay, you disagree. Okay, good. Quality education. School is important to their work. Very good. Okay, you disagree. Very good, Abdul Sami. All right, you disagree. Okay. Okay, you disagree. Okay, lot of people are disagreeing. All right, let's start. Let us start and let us question certain things. Like I said, we will be questioning a few things. Okay. Okay, time outside the house should not be a reason. Good. Time outside the house should not be a reason. Okay, that's good enough. That's good enough. Okay, now I have a question. I have a question. Now let's see how our schooling has been and how good our calculation is. Okay, let's see who gives the answer first. Calculations. How many hours does a child spend in school on a regular day when the schools are working? Of course, not in the COVID situation. 8 hours. Very good. Very good. If you take 2 days off, let us take 6 hours. Let us take 6 hours. Okay. If you take 2 days off, that is 5 days a week, right? How many hours does the child spend in a week? If you take 6 hours, 30 hours, 6 hours, 6 hours. Let's take the minimum, bare minimum. 6 hours the child spent, 30 hours he has spent in a week. In a month, that is how many hours? In a month, that is how many hours? Month. In a month, it is 30 times 4. That is 4 weeks in a month. 30 times 4 is how much? 120. 120 hours in a month. Let us say the child is off for 3 months vacation in a year. Now we know that we don't have 3 months vacation, but we still assume the maximum 3 months vacation in a year. Okay, the child will be spending 9 months in a school every year, right? 9 months in a school every year. So 120 times 9 is how much? 120 times 9 is how much? Calculators. 12 times 9, 120 times 9, 1080. Perfect. 1080. 1080. 1080 hours. 1080 hours the child spends in the school every year. Right? Okay. And this starts from pre-K, from LKG, UKG. Okay. Now from LKG, UKG, and then first standard till 10th standard. That is how many years? 12 years, right? 12 years. Let us, for the sake of calculation, let us take 1,000 years, 1,000 hours a year, 1,000 hours every year. Okay. For the sake of calculation, take 12 years times 1,000. 12,000 hours. 12,000 hours. After spending 12,000 hours in the school, after spending 12,000 hours in a school, a child has reached 10th standard. Okay. So my question to you all is, of all the reasons that we have suggested, what has been achieved in 12,000 hours? What is a 10th standard child good for? Is the child certificate? Okay. I'm saying from the perspective of education. He'll be able to read and write. Okay. Is he able to GK, maths, calculation, party ready to face the world? Ready to face the world. A 10th standard child is ready to face the world. Do you all agree a 10th standard child is ready to face the world? Okay. What is a 10th standard child good for? What is a 10th standard child good for? I have a question. What is a 10th standard child good for? To choose what next? Okay. To choose what next? How many of you have anyone who is 10th standard? Anyone of you who knows someone who's 10th standard? Okay. Now, if you ask 100 students who are in 10th standard, how many of them really know what they will choose next? Somebody said, right, to choose what is next. How many of them really know what to choose next? From my experience, it is 100 out of 100 don't know what they want to do. From my experience, I'm telling you, they don't know what to do. Yes, the 2% or none. Okay. So again, like I said, we are going to be questioning things. My question to you all is, after giving 12,000 hours, which is only only a part of his life, right? Like only a part of his education, right? Because if you go to see, you have 12 standard, then you have 4 years of degree, which is 6 years more, that is 6,000 hours more. What is a person good for? 12,000 hours, has it got achieved any of the goals we said it will achieve? Now there is a person called Malcolm Gladwell. Anyone has heard of Malcolm Gladwell? Okay. Okay. He's a Canadian author, Canadian writer and research. He does research, and he has a lot of research, and he has certain things. Okay, certain books, very amazing books he has written. In one of his books called Outliers, called Outliers, he says that 10,000 hours, 10,000 hours of deliberate practice in any one thing, 10,000 hours of deliberate practice in any one thing will take a person to be top class in that field, world class, top number one in the field. How many hours? According to Malcolm, and he has his research, he's supporting it all with research. How many hours did he say? 10,000 hours. 10K hours. 10,000 hours. If you give deliberate practice to one thing, you will be at the top level of that. So I'll give you an example. Let's say if there is a cricketer, okay, he's a batsman. He wants to become the top 1% batsman in the world, top 1% batsman, like the best batsman in the world, come in top 10 ranking of batsmen. Okay. He will require 10,000 hours of practice. Okay. Same way, anything else, any other industry, if a person spends 10,000 hours, he will be at the top of the world. Okay. In that thing. After 12,000 hours of education, are our children top world class in the education? Are they? What are they good at? What are they good at? Just memorization. I will come to that. I will come to the memorization part also. So it's a very important question that we need to ask. Basic science and maths knowledge? Okay. Okay. Maybe sports? Okay. Okay. Now I am a teacher. I am a teacher. Okay. I have seen lots of students. I have seen, and I'm teaching online as well. So I teach online to people from Dubai. I teach people from different places. Okay. So I'm not talking about one particular place or one particular this. I have taught people in Bombay, in Mangalore. I'm teaching some people from abroad also. Okay. What I have seen in general trends, okay, is that even after spending 12,000 hours, if you only gave three tasks to education, which is the 3 R's of literacy. Who will tell me what are the 3 R's of literacy? 3 R's of literacy. Ever heard of 3 R's of literacy? The 3 R's of literacy. Reading, yes. Reading, writing, and arithmetics, right? They say, right? 3 R's: reading, writing, and arithmetics. Okay. So basic calculation, basic reading, basic writing. Okay. I was reading a research where it said only 30%, and this is of people in the US. This is a study in the US. Only 30% of students can actually read and understand what is there in the newspaper. Students, as in who have almost graduated. Only 30% can read and understand what is there in the newspaper. So 70% still cannot read. How many children do you see today have the love for reading? Do you see any, like how many children, right? If you took a percentage, they really want to, like if you just gave them a book, they will read the book and they will read the book. They will read the book and they will uh, understand it by themselves without someone explaining to them. A 10th standard student, can he read a book and understand it by itself without anyone explaining them? Okay, very few. And even like if you give them a variety of topic, yes, even if you give them a variety of topic, it will not be like it's a very difficult thing for them to comprehend. Comprehension is not taught properly. Children do not know how to read a book. Okay, there is another book which is called, the book is called How to Read a Book. It's some Adler has written that book. I forgot his first name. That book is called How to Read a Book, and in that book he makes a very strong case where he says children do not, or children no, even adults do not know how to read a book. Okay, so we have the education system from all, like from all sources, if you actually cite, they have failed miserably at reading. So they have not taught children how to read. Writing, how many children can actually write a letter to someone who's in authority? Like if they had to write a letter and just write, okay, forget about write a letter. How many 10th standard student can fill a checkbook check? Can they fill a check? Yes, they are scared. I had an amazing 10th 12th standard student. Okay, he was very good in studies, but once I gave him a check to fill, and he was like, sir, I can't do, what is this, how to do it, I don't know. He was very scared to fill a check. Okay, so again, writing, they have not learned reading, they have not learned writing, and don't talk about arithmetics. I am a maths teacher and I know how good their calculation is. Very bad, very bad. Most children are not good at maths. Most children are not good at maths. Okay, this is my personal experience. I don't have any research to back it up, but I know this for a fact. Okay, if you just gave two numbers and told them to add it without putting pen to paper, they won't be able to do it. A lot of children won't be able to do it. Okay, that's the fact. That's the fact of matter. So what has happened? Reading, writing, and arithmetics. After giving 12,000 hours, you would expect a child to at least learn that, right? At least be able to do that basic stuff. Now I am telling you, this is not crazy stuff. This is very basic I'm talking about. After giving 12,000 hours, have the children been able to gain anything out of all this? Is it they do not know? Yes. Is it, my question is it uh is the outcome, okay, some might say no, our child knows this, our child knows that. Okay, they might know, I'm not saying they might not know. There might be some children who would know quite a bit. Okay, my thing is the outcome proportionate to 12,000 hours given? No matter how excellent a child might be, is it proportionate? Okay. So do you all agree that a lot of time, second language, yeah, I will, I will, I will tell you something. I will tell you, like, language, we don't even talk about language. We'll just this. Okay. So 12,000 hours of your child has gone in the school, and it has completely been wasted. 12,000 hours. Imagine if you just took one child and you gave them one thing and let them practice for 10,000 hours. According to Malcolm Gladwell, he would be at the top of the world in that thing. Okay. Now I'll tell you another research. Another research. To teach these three things, to teach reading, to teach writing, and to teach arithmetics. Can someone tell me what is the number of hours that is required to teach a person, complete beginner, to teach to read, write, and arithmetics in English, a child or whatever, a grown up? How many hours? In hours, can you tell me? In hours, how many hours would it take? How many hours does it take for a person of normal like grasping power? How long will it take? Can anyone guess? Can anyone guess how long? 500 hours. Okay, 3 months. It takes 100 hours. Takes 100 hours of proper coaching to teach any child to read, to write, and basic arithmetics. To teach a child to read, write, and basic arithmetics, you need only 100 hours. Okay. Now again, it can be practiced and developed more and more, but 100 hours is good. We have a program where we teach small children to read. Some of you might be aware of it. We have small children who are reading, and within 2.5 months, 3 years and 4 years old children are reading. Okay. Giving 15 minutes a day. So not even 30 hours, 20 to 25 hours, a child learns to read basic reading. Okay. Basic reading. So we know that 100 hours is very much possible. So I have seen this personally. Okay. Now, if you could teach your child to read in 100 hours, what has happened to the 12,000 hours? What is it that is taught in the schools? Can someone tell me what exactly is taught in the schools? What is taught in the schools? Let's think. What is taught in the schools? Am I connected? Memorization, basics of all fields. Okay. Curriculum. Okay, let's take the subjects. Let's take the subjects. Okay. Let's take the subjects. We have we have English. Then somebody said second language, right? Then we have maths. Then you have science, and you have social science, right? Most chunk of your child's time in school goes in learning these 5 subjects. Do you all agree? Do you all agree that most of the time goes in these 5 things? Okay. Now, now, I want you all to take this as an experiment and try it out. Try it out for yourselves. You know any child who is in 9th standard? Okay, let's say 9th standard, 8th standard, whatever standard it is. Okay, and ask them, what did you study last year in geography? Can you name 5 chapters? Just name 5 chapters. Forget about what was there, the content, leave everything on it. Just name 5 chapters from last year. Okay. How many children would be able to answer? How many children would be able to answer this question? Exceptional 1 or 2? They will not. They will not. I will tell you one student I had who was in 10th standard, who had scored 10 GPA, 10 CGPA in CBSE. In CBSE, 10th, 10 CGPA. So I think it's, you know what 10 is, right? It's a very high score, right? Around 95, something like that. It would be more than 95%. Okay. Now in 11th, or like I was teaching maths, and there was some basic concept of maths which I was asking this student of mine. Okay. And he did not know. So I asked him, I said, you got a 10. How come you don't know such a basic thing? And his answer made me think. Can anyone tell me, can anyone guess what his answer was? I think it's a very, very common thing. I memorized? Forgot. Exactly. He said, sir, I remembered I did it only for the exam. Exam is over. I don't know. That's it. I did it only for the exam. I memorized only for the exam. Exam is over. I am done. I'm not interested. I don't remember anything. Is that, and that is how exactly this whole system works. This whole system is working based on memorization only for the exam, and that's it. Even if we consider that the child remembered everything, even if you thought that the child remembered everything, how many of your child, how many of your children ask you, what is the point of studying all this? Why do I need to study what is atom and what is molecules? Why do I need to study what is this and what is that? Do children ask these questions? Every child asks this question. I, as a teacher, never had an answer. I have 1 or 2 students of mine here, but I never had an answer. Why do we need to study this? Okay. Why do we need to study? Teachers don't ask teachers, why do we need to study this? No answer. Why do we need to study all these things? And tell me one thing. Like we teach concepts like maths and science and geography and everything separately, right? We teach all these things separately. When somebody said that we have to prepare our child for real life situation, in how many real life situations you get problems which are only mathematical or only scientific or only related geography? Are you getting me what I'm saying? Like when you go in your real life problems are not compartmentalized into subjects. They are holistic. They are problems. They are not going to be like, okay, you should know maths to solve this problem. You should know science to solve this problem. No, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. And because the subjects are taught separately, very few children can actually make connection between two subjects. This is a problem. So when we teach maths and you teach, let's say, English, a child will not be able to make connection between maths and English or maths and geography. But you don't see that happening in real life. You don't have any problem in your real life which is one subject. It is, so you're getting what I'm saying? Is everyone understanding what I'm saying? That the compartmentalization of these subjects by itself is a very unnatural way of teaching. It is not a natural way of learning. It is got nothing to do with real life. Do you all agree? Okay, give an example. Okay, let me give you an example. Okay, any problem. Just give me any problem. Okay, when you are growing a tree. Okay, when you are growing a plant, let's say you're growing a plant. You teach your child how to grow a plant. What subject is required in that? Can someone tell me what subject is required in that? In growing a plant? Very important, very simple thing. Science? There is no maths required? Is there no maths required in that? Does the child not need to know how much of what do you say? How much of water to put, how much of sunlight, and all those things, right? Basic knowledge. He needs to know what type of soil is required. That is geography. How much of water is to be put, how much of fertilizer has to be put. That is maths. Okay. How much of so there are lots of things. So that's not only one subject. Are you getting me? It is not one subject. It is a lot of things together, and you are not taught these things in the school this way. In the school, things are compartmentalized into subjects, and children have no idea of how to connect the dots, they say, right? How to connect the dots, how to connect two subjects. There is no like, seriously, if a concept of some mathematical thing came in geography, a child will get confused, like, why is this here? It is maths, why is it here? Okay. So the whole way, the what is being taught is not the way it has to be, not the way it is to be taught to children, because this is not how we learn. Okay, when a child learns, that's not how it learn. Okay, so what is being taught? Okay, now this is not only at the smaller level. When you take degree, let's say engineering degree we talk about. Okay, engineering degree. There is a very good example. How many of you have the latest phone this year? Anyone has bought a latest phone this year? Latest phone? Okay, great. Now, tell me one thing. Who has a phone which is 4 years old? Anyone has a phone which is 4 years old? Very good. Very good. 3 years old, 4 years old. Okay. Do you all see the difference between technology that was 4 years ago and today? The technology in phone only, just in phone. I'm talking about one phone. Is there a big difference in the technology 4 years ago and today? Okay. Now, tell me one thing. Tell me one thing. A child takes admission in engineering in the first year. Okay. By the time the child finishes the 4th year, whatever he has studied has already become obsolete. Has already become obsolete. In fact, forget about this. I know for a fact that what is taught in engineering is at least 20 years old. What is taught in engineering is 20 years old education. It is nothing which is up to the mark. So how is it that even that degree, even degree like a professional degree of engineering is going to help? Okay. So my question is, do you all agree that at least the content which is taught in schools is not up to the mark? What is being taught is not up to the mark. Okay. To the bare minimum, you can say it is, yes, it is mostly irrelevant, and it's so that the amount of time that is gone in that is crazy. Okay. And it's not going to give you any outcome from that. Okay. I did engineering. When I completed my engineering, after 4 years of engineering, I got a job. I went to the company. uh, the company gave me a 21 days training on the product, on their IT software, whatever which was. So I was working for a software company. So I was trained on the product, on the software. And I was told very clearly that all you will need is this 21 days of training. So the 18,000 hours or the 20,000 hours which I had given to education, all that was not required. all that was required was the 21 days of training on that product, which I had to give technical support to. That is all that was required. Okay, that is it. That is it. So a child, a person who needs to learn something of relevant. No, it does not. I'll tell you why. The child does not require, does not need. No, 21 days. I'll tell you what I know what you're saying. You're saying that because I had the basics which I had learned in the engineering, that helped me in the 21 days training. Okay, maybe 5% of what I learned. 5%. If I required anything else, I would not require more than 3 months or 4 months of that. I will tell you, I will come to why did they ask for the degree. We will come to that. Yes, I will come to that. Why degree and all that is asked for. Yes. We'll come to that. I'll come to that. Inshallah, I'll come to the degree and why companies choose who they choose. We'll come to that, inshallah. Okay, it's gonna be a long talk, so I would try to make it as short as possible. So what is being taught is completely irrelevant to whatever is there in the market. Whatever, the child is not learning anything useful. Okay, no, that is not true. I'll come to it. Okay, so that's the first thing. Now, okay, the content is not good. What about the method that is used to teach? How do schools teach children? What is the method that is used to teach children? Okay. Now, is the method that is used to teach children at school worth it? I will tell you what happens. How many minutes have you all sat here? How many minutes it has been in the meeting? 40 minutes, right? 45 minutes. Okay. Tell me one thing. What if I continued talking? What if I continued talking for another 6 hours? What will happen? I talk for another 6 hours. Sleepy, get bored. And this is, trust me, this is something that you all are already interested in. That's why you are sitting and talking, right? This is something that you are already interested in. Now think about a child. Think about a child who has no interest in what the teacher is saying. He is made to sit. Now you are at least in the comfort of your home, right? You can drink what you want. If you want to take a break, you can get up, you can go, you can talk to whoever you want to, you can do whatever you want, right? You still have that freedom, and still you will not be able to sit for 6 hours. And you are adults, you have much more patience than a child would. Think about a child who's sitting in one place for 6 hours. He is not allowed to talk to his friend who's sitting right next to him. He is not allowed to talk to the teacher. He is not allowed to say anything for 6 hours continuously. I mean, imagine the condition of a child. Just imagine from your perspective, just think from those lines. Imagine, is that the method that is going to make the child love or hate studying? How many children like to go to school? How many children like to go to school? So not only the content that is being taught is obsolete, it is useless. The way it is taught, the method that is used to teach children to read, to do whatever, to study, is not working. It makes children hate studying altogether. Do you all agree with me that this is one big issue? Then not only this, second is, okay, do they like to sit in the class? Do they like to sit in the class? Trust me, they don't. Trust me, they don't. Okay, I will tell you one thing. I will tell you one thing. I will tell you one thing. Even if a child is good in studies, even if a child is good in studies, after some time, if you gave an option, I know this personally. I have seen students, when I go to the class and tell the child, tell the students, should I teach or can I give you off today? What do the children say? Off. We want to go to the playground. Now think about this. Think about this. Think about this. A person likes to be comfortable, right? To sit properly, to not run and to do this, right? Sitting in one place is much easier for a person physically, right? It's very easy compared to running, compared to going around and running. Okay, but still children choose physical hardship over physical this. When we ask children, what do you want? Do you want to sit in the class or you want to go to the playground? Unanimously, children say we want to go to the playground. Unanimously, we want to go to the playground. For a child, what is easier, to sit in the class or run in the playground? Sitting in the class is easy. Sitting in the class is easy, but for them, the whole thing is because it is so much of mental pressure and that they will always choose running in the playground. Okay, so that's one thing that you have to realize, that children, the way it is taught is not what is going to make a child love reading, love studying. Okay, then we have, how many of you have more than one child here? Do you have more than one child? Okay, do you see that the understanding level and the understanding speed have same level? Okay, do you think that all the children have same level of understanding? All children have same level of understanding? Okay, no problem. Jazakallah khair. Okay, do all children have same level of understanding? No. What about 20 children, 30 children in one class and all of them are taught at the same level? If a child can understand in 2 minutes, he still has to sit 1 hour for the same class. If a child takes 2 hours, he also has to understand it in 40 minutes. Whatever it is. So it's the same time for all the children. No customization. Everyone has to learn at the same pace. But children are not the same. All 5 fingers are not the same. All children are not the same. Some children take some time. Not necessarily that they are dumb, but they are some children who think slowly, some children who think fast. Thinking fast, thinking slow has its own benefit. Thinking fast has its own benefit. All these things we are this. Okay, brother Mujibuddin, we will do that inshallah. You can WhatsApp on WhatsApp, please contact me. Okay, so we already no. Okay, I'll tell you. I'll come to this. I'll come to this inshallah. Okay, I'll come to that. Now, this exactly like when you're saying when children were sitting and when this. You can just email me or all right. So let's okay. Sorry, we don't have too much time. I have a lot to cover. I really have a lot to cover. So I don't think we'll be able to cover the whole thing today because we have a 1 hour meeting and I don't want to do this. Okay. So then we have, how many children are creative and that creativity is utilized in schools? Are children allowed to be creative on the exam or in whatever subjects? Creativity is skilled. Creativity is skilled in the schools, right? So there are all these issues which the method which is taught. Now there was I want you all to go and look up parents helping children cheat on the exam, India. Parents helping children cheat on the exam in India. Just Google this up. Okay. Now, I'm not saying that any of you would be like this, but tell me, if given a chance to pay enough and buy marks for the child, don't you think a large percentage of parents will do that? I'm not saying about you all, but don't you think a lot of parents will choose to just pay the money and get marks for their children? In India specifically. Okay. Why? Because marks is the only important thing. The whole education system is lying on that one exam that is taken at the end of the year, and marks is all that they want. That's all that the parents want. Whether the child has learned something or not is not important. How much has the child scored is very important. Yes, I'll have to do that. Okay, there is a lot to cover. I will have to do it. Okay, because anyways, it's gonna be Maghrib very soon. So that's one thing, inshallah, I'll have to do. I'll try to make it as short as possible. Okay. Then, if you had to ask someone to just to do basic things, very basic things, if you had to ask permission for that, like for example, just going to the washroom. Many a times children come and ask, I want to go to the toilet. Many times teachers don't even allow that. And in fact, a child will rather spend his time in the toilet than sit in the class. Trust me, I know this. Children will just come and want to go to the toilet because they don't want to sit in the class. They will sit in the toilet instead. That is how bad the situation is. Now all I'm telling you, all the children, just think about it from their perspective. And then we wonder why our child, who was before going to school, if you give a child a book, you will not be able to take the book back from the child, because the child will start crying. A 2-year-old, 2.5-year-old, how many of you have 2.5 years old? If you gave the book to the child and you just gave them, okay, after some time you want to take it back, the child will start crying. Does that happen? That children just love the books, right? Why then we wonder, when the child goes to school, why do they hate studying? Do you see the problem? Do you see the way, the method that is used to teach children to study is actually making them hate more and more? Okay. So, okay, I will just give my WhatsApp number. I will just type it out. So just take it, inshallah, and it's Maghrib time. So maybe we can just change the timing to maybe after Isha or something like that. And okay, if we do a little session, maybe 1 hour more after Isha today, are you all ready to come? 8 o'clock? Yes, but this is not the. Okay, so we'll do one thing. We'll take a break, inshallah, and we will continue at 8 o'clock, inshallah. At 8 o'clock, maybe we'll do a 1 hour session again. Okay, I knew that this would be the case. And again, we are just talking about the problems. We'll have another session altogether on what we feel, or what I feel will be the solution for this problem. Okay, so we will continue. Today. We will just discuss the problem and why this problem is. So because first thing is, we have to understand the issue. Unless we understand the problem, it is no point talking about the solution. Okay, so today we will be, inshallah, talking about the solution. Okay, my mobile number is 91. Okay, just let me put it, 9167473232. you can just take this number and message me. I will put it on the WhatsApp group. Are all of you on the WhatsApp group? Okay, I'm just putting my number here. So just that's my phone number. You can always WhatsApp me on this number, please. Just WhatsApp me on this number, and inshallah I will get back to everyone. Okay. If any questions, inshallah we will continue at 8 o'clock today, and I'll try to make it as short as possible, inshallah. Okay. So we'll continue, inshallah. Subhanakallahumma bihamdik ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.